Yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second installment of the AYEKINGBRO channel. Tonight, we're going to be discussing SmackDown from January 3rd, 2020. A night of returns. 3 huge returns that we're going to dive into during the duration of this video. But first, we're going to start things off with the first match of the show, which we saw a women's triple threat tag team match. That match included Bayley and Sasha Banks teaming up to take on Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss to take on Lacey Evans and Dana Brooke. And the way this match ended was Dana Brooke hit a senton on Sasha Banks for the win. Dana Brooke pinned the Sasha Banks, the 4-time women's champion, the boss Sasha Banks, live in Memphis, the Memphis crowd on Fox. Dana Brooke, throughout her entire career, has either been the sidekick to Charlotte or in catering. Dana Brooke has never been, a mainstay on TV or showcased, and she just beat Sasha Banks live with a senton. The 4-time women's champion Sasha Banks, the multiple-time main eventer, the woman who participated in the first ever Hell in a Cell match against Charlotte back in 2016. She just got pinned by Dana Brooke. Now, Dana Brooke recently, as we all know, has just started a relationship with Batista. Large part, the only reason why she's getting more TV time is because her relationship with Batista. She's certainly talented, don't get me wrong, but throughout the years she's either been sidekick to Charlotte or just not showcased at all on TV. So it looks like she's getting a little push. But Sasha Banks is huge. This is detrimental to her character, and we'll see where Sasha Banks goes from here. Next up, we have Chad Gable versus Dash Wilder of the Revival. Gable won this match with an ankle lock pretty decisively, pretty quickly. But the story here was the return of the Celtic Warrior Sheamus, the former Royal Rumble match winner of 2012. Sheamus is back, whole new look. Looks amazing. Looks in the best shape ever. And to think that this man was, we thought this man was set to retire. We saw this man on his YouTube channel doing, Celtic Warrior workouts, with the superstars. We thought Sheamus was done for. But I'm so glad to see him back. I love Sheamus. Sheamus is that guy. I remember his Reigns feud. It's probably my favorite feud of his. Even though it was short, I really enjoyed it. And let's see what to go with Sheamus here. It looks like he's back heel. He kicked Gable. It looked like he was going to save Gable from the Revival. But after he got rid of the Revival out of the ring, he gave Gable a vicious bro kick. And so it's like Sheamus going heel from here. So we'll see where that goes. Next up, we have former WWE champion Kofi Kingston against former WWE champion The Miz. This match was what it was. It was okay. Nothing special. Kingston wins with the roll up. And Miz, after the match, attacked Kofi Kingston. Miz recently has been in a little mini feud with Bray Wyatt, the Fiend. As we know, the Fiend, kind of went, not directly in his house, but, his presence was felt in Miz's house. And since then, he's been, kind of went haywire, off the rails. He's been, paranoid. So that's pretty much why, the Miz attacked Kofi Kingston after the match. Yeah, it is what it was. I've never been, pretty much high on the Miz. Ever since his horrible WWE Championship run back in 2011, he's just been in mid-card, for 9 years since then. I've never been, I'm a fan of Hollywood Miz. Not to say he's great on the mic, but as a wrestler in the ring, pretty average. But, a lot of people like the Miz, but it's just me, I'm just not the biggest fan. Next, we go into a backstage segment with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan discussing their main event tag team match against Ziggler and Corbin tonight. Roman Reigns, the news here was Roman Reigns announced he's going to be in the Royal Rumble match, and he plans on winning it. Roman Reigns is no stranger to winning the Royal Rumble match. He won it back in 2015. We all know that, the boos and, The Rock helped him. So, we'll see where that goes. Daniel Bryan vows that he's going to beat The Fiend for the Universal title. So Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan were talking about main eventing WrestleMania against each other. That would be a match I want to see. The last time Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan faced in a match one-on-one was Fastlane 2015. That match was top notch. That match was, to me, that was maybe one of the top matches of 2015, in my opinion. So if that main event were to happen, I'll be okay with that. I would be okay with that. I love it. Next up, we see Kathy Kelly go to interview The Miz after his match against Kofi Kingston and talk to him about his, his little mental breakdown in the ring, whatever. And out comes the returning John Morrison. Like, we knew he was supposed to come back. We heard the rumors. He even confirmed it on Twitter that he was coming back. And there's Morrison. But the problem I have with this here was after 8 long years away from WWE, he comes back in a backstage segment just out of nowhere. Like, it was very lackluster. This is John Morrison talking about here. John Morrison is one of the best workers that I've grew up watching. Matches against Rey Mysterio for the IC Championship is one of the greatest SmackDown matches ever. His match against The Miz, the Falls Count Anywhere match for the WWE title, one of the best matches of 2011. John Morrison is that guy, and to have him come back in that fashion in a backstage segment just didn't sit well with me. We'll see where this goes. Of course, John Morrison and The Miz have history. The Dirt Sheet, tag team championship, SmackDown way back when. It looks like they're going to be back together again. I'm on board with it. It is what it is. Yeah, it's pretty much it. I just really didn't like how, after 8 years, this is how they bring him back. But it is what it is. Next up, we have Otis versus Drew Gulak. This match to me was pretty much, it was pointless. I didn't see why, it needed to happen. I love Otis. I met Otis. Met him after the show back in the summertime. He's an awesome guy. Drew Gulak, he doesn't do it for me. He's entertaining. I can see why people like him, but for me, he just doesn't do it for me. Otis, wins this match pretty easily. Don't really want to dive into this match really. But next up, we have Braun Strowman against Cesaro, accompanied by Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura. Braun wins this match with a power slam. Braun Strowman, for me, basically whatever he does now doesn't interest me. This guy, Vince gives him the rocket, but he gives him a little push and he brings him back. He's done it so many times, just like with the Brock Lesnar feud, the Roman Reigns feud. Braun Strowman's been pretty much treated like a clown. But whatever he does now doesn't really interest me. I like Braun Strowman. He could have been that larger-than-life guy that WWE needs right now, but I think he's ruined, especially with him dancing last week with the New Day. That really killed all of his, his badass aura and, the way he carries himself. Like, I just don't care about Braun Strowman. I don't care, what direction he's going in, because it's not going to lead to anything. Well, I'm tired of getting my hopes up to see Braun Strowman, win a world title. He hasn't won a world title in his almost 5 years being on the main roster. He's had chance after chance after chance, and it's been nothing but loss after loss after loss after loss. And it's sad to see a guy with that stature, a guy with that build, that size, that frame, and not be world champion. You have guys like Jinder Mahal. You have guys like, just guys smaller than him winning world champion. Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor, but Braun Strowman can't get at least one run. He can't get at least one run. Seriously. And what the crazy thing is, this whole segment match, Braun Strowman, Cesaro, Sami Zayn, Nakamura, all of these guys have been a victim of bad booking. Like, people for years have been calling for Cesaro to be, have a world title run. his physique, the way his in-ring skills, there's no reason why this man hasn't been world champion yet. He's been on the main roster for years. Sami Zayn hasn't won that one. Never came close to winning a world championship. And don't even get me started on Nakamura. Nakamura in NXT was like god level. Main roster, he's just a shell of himself. You hate to see it. All four of these guys just being misused. The direction of all four of these guys just who cares? Who cares? If WWE creative doesn't care, then why should we care as an audience? Next up is we're going to dive right into the main event, which was Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan against Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. Now this match was decent for what it was. It wasn't a great match. It wasn't, something to write home about. It wasn't like on the edge of your seat. It was a pretty, standard tag team main event match with, two top baby faces, Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan, against the top heels, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler. One thing I noticed was Roman Reigns' entrance. The crowd was silent. I don't know if Memphis is like not a good wrestling town. I don't know. His reaction, it was pretty silent when he walked out. This is Roman Reigns. This is the big dog. This is the 4-time world champion. This is the 4-time WrestleMania main event of Roman Reigns. And he didn't even get a pop. Like, it was silence. Like, it was silent. I even texted my friend. I was like, this, it's kind of weird. Like, it's kind of silent for Roman. It's kind of, wow. And this is Vince's top guy. This is the WWE's top guy. Like, Roman Reigns is, the man in the company. And for him to come out in complete silence was just, kind of weird to me. But yeah, it was just something I noticed. The way this match ends was Daniel Bryan hits a running knee to Ziggler, but the Fiend appears. Now we all know Daniel Bryan's, he has an upcoming championship match against the Fiend for the Universal title at the Royal Rumble. Looking forward to that match. It's probably gonna be the best match on the card. They had a match before at Royal Rumble 2014 it was Bray Wyatt, the old Bray Wyatt, against Daniel Bryan. That match was fire. That match was amazing. Probably gonna watch that match before the Rumble. But so I expect that same magic at Royal Rumble this year, 6 years later. But yeah, the Fiend downs Daniel Bryan. He's out. Fiend disappears. And then Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler start attacking Roman Reigns. 2-on-1 action. They get in the handcuffs and they grab the dog food, which they done that before last time. They tied Roman Reigns up to the turnbuckle and it started, forcing dog food in his face and in his mouth, just humiliating Roman Reigns. And they were gonna do the same thing tonight. But in Roman's favor, his cousins, the Usos, one of the greatest tag teams of all time, save him. The Usos return after months of being gone, months of hiatus. And we know about the Usos, how they got in trouble with the law as far as, DUIs and the drinking and stuff like that. So it's good to see them back, healthy and back in full swing. Back with their cousins, Roman Reigns. I always like them when they're with Roman Reigns. Like, the last time there was a main event storyline with Roman Reigns was, I think, back in 2016 against The Club with AJ Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson. Always loved the Usos with Reigns. I think all three of them are badass. It looks like they're back again. That return from you really got me excited. Like, I really love that return. I'm just happy to see the Usos back. And let's see what happens next week. So let's see what WWE is going to do with them. I'm looking forward to it. So overall, the show, it wasn't bad by any means. If I had to grade it 1 through 10, I gave it maybe like a 6.5. 6.5. I think it's pretty solid. Only bad things on the show, well, things I didn't really like was, the return of John Morrison. That was lackluster. 8 years. You come back in the backstage segment. Like, that was just, they didn't do Morrison justice. Morrison is way better than that. I really didn't really feel the Otis and Drew Gulak match. Felt it wasn't needed. Braun versus Cesaro, you know, it was just there. Just watching that match, seeing all four guys, you know, in the you know, on TV, just like, wow, all four of these guys were misused, or currently being misused. You know, just, you know, it just rubbed me the wrong way. Gable and Wilder was, you know, what it was. Sheamus is back. Love Sheamus. Yeah, this show was, you know, we're near Royal Rumble. The build-up continues. Should be an amazing show. Can't wait to see it. I'm sure you all excited to see it, just like I am. And let's see what, you know, let's continue to watch things unfold. So that's gonna do it for me. Be blessed, be confident, and stay true to yourself. I'm out.